Hello, for today's lesson, I'm going to start with chapter 10. And, okay, maybe. Maybe I can get this bigger. Oh no, usually I can. There we go. Takes me a minute sometimes. Okay, this chapter 10 is talking about taking care of infants. And I would like you to look up these vocabulary words right here and words to know. So, physical development, intellectual, social, emotional, infant, newborn, reflexes, and babble. And you will find, like, for example, scrolling down to the next page, physical development's right here. So, for physical development, I would write changes, growth or changes in the body size and ability. Okay, so that's where that's at right there. So the definition for physical development is the growth or change in body size and ability. Okay, and then intellectual development's right here, social's right there, and emotional. And then the rest of the words are within the chapter. So you'll need to look those up. At the beginning of every chapter, I do this. The objective for this chapter, after you have read this chapter, after we've gone through the lessons, you will be able to list the 4 types of development and give examples as they apply to infants. And you will also be able to describe guidelines for caring for and playing with an infant. So starting out reading right here, babies seem so helpless they are only able to eat, sleep, and cry. Infants do need a lot of help from others, but they grow and learn quickly. Once you understand them, you may enjoy taking care of and playing with infants. Understanding and getting along with children is important for many reasons. You may have younger relatives with whom you spend time. You may be interested in babysitting, which is why I think it's important to teach 6th graders about infants, is because that's when I that's when I started babysitting when I was younger. Even if you do not plan to be around children much, you can learn more about yourself by studying children. And I think it's important if you're in an emergency situation and you have to take care of a child, to learn more about them now and to understand that. I think that's very helpful. So it says here, children grow and change very quickly. Every 6 months can, even 6 months, I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out what that word was at the end. Even 6 months can make a big difference in what a child can do and think. At 8 months, a baby may just be starting to crawl. A couple of months later, however, the same child may be walking. Helped you understand walking. This helps you understand how children differ. You study 3 main age groups. In this chapter, for example, we're studying about infants. The next chapter is going to be about toddlers, and the chapter after that will be about preschoolers. As you study a group, you will learn how to take care of them, and you will also learn ways to play with them. And it says here, I was surprised that cut that off there. I'm sorry about that. How children grow and develop. Growth and development take place in all children all the time. You may not be able to notice the changes. Just scroll down to the next page. Oh, this page is much better. You may not be able to notice the changes, but they are always taking place. The different kinds of growth and development are physical, intellectual, social, and emotional. So there are 4 types of development that you're going to learn about in this chapter: physical, intellectual, social, and emotional. And the bell ringer for today, I think it asks what the 4 stages of development are, and that is the answer right there. Okay, so within physical growth and development, it is, and you should have written this down for vocabulary word, the definition, it is the growth or changes in the body size and ability. It includes growth of bones, muscles, and organs. Growing taller, gaining weight, and building stronger muscles are types of physical development you can see. Physical development is also seen as children gain coordination. Other physical changes are not as easy to see because they're internal. So, like these organs that are maturing inside of a body, and it says here as the stomach matures, which is an organ, foods are more easily digested. That's why small babies that they can only drink like milk, and they can't eat anything like we eat because their stomach is not mature yet. It can't handle it. As the heart and lungs mature, children can run longer without getting tired. That's why babies sleep a lot, because their body's working so hard to develop these organs and muscles and bones that they get tired easily. Okay, the next phase of development that we're going to talk about is intellectual development. And this refers to the development of the mind. This involves the ability to think, reason, use language, and form ideas. Children of all ages use their senses to learn about the world around them. They smell, listen to, look at, taste, and feel different objects and persons as they increase their intellectual growth and development. And if you look at like a little baby, sometimes you see them feeling around for things around them with their little hands, and that's them using their senses. So if you think about your five senses, so what are they? Touch, taste, smell, sight, like seeing is a sense, and hearing. I think I said five of them. So that's all in intellectual development. You're using your brain, your mind. Social development involves learning to communicate and getting along with others. Part of this involves learning to adapt to new people. Social development also includes learning and following rules. For instance, children must learn that it is wrong to hit other children. Okay, that's part of social development, which I always say, well, sixth graders could get an A+ in social development because they definitely know how to talk very well. They don't have a problem with that. They talk way too much. No, that's okay. But communicating is a big part of that. Like we're talking about children here. They're learning to say that, I'm hungry, I have to go to the bathroom. Not at 1 year old, but they're starting to talk. Okay, the next one and the fourth one, fourth stage of development, emotional development. It is concerned with the way the emotions are developed and expressed. And a lot of people think that emotional development is just crying. But for example, here it says emotional development also includes love, happiness, fear, and anger. Emotional development involves learning to recognize and accept these emotions. It also involves finding ways to express emotions that other people will accept. For example, very young children may express anger through a temper tantrum. As these children develop, they learn more acceptable ways to express their anger. So here's the end of the chapter, or the end of this lesson. Is definitely not the end of this chapter. And my final question, without you looking back at your notes, can you name the 4 stages of development? So if you can, that means you definitely are ahead of the game. So if you didn't remember, the one of the stages of development is physical development. One of them is intellectual development. The next one is social development. And the next one is emotional development. And it doesn't matter which order these are in. So that's the end of this lesson. Thank you.